If you have ever been lied to, cheated on, or played by a woman you trusted, this is the most critical video you will ever watch. Right now, society is feeding you a dangerous lie. They tell you to just step back, give her space, and trust the process blindly. They label you as insecure, controlling, or crazy the second you start asking basic questions about the sudden shifts in her behavior. But that advice is a trap designed to keep you blind while your relationship falls apart right in front of your face. You need to understand the brutal truth right now. Women do not cheat the same way men do. When a man cheats, it is almost always purely physical, a completely brainless act driven by a sudden opportunity, meaning absolutely nothing to him emotionally. But when a woman cheats, it is an entirely different story because a woman cheats out of emotion. By the time she physically betrays you with another man, she has already packed her bags and left the relationship mentally weeks or months ago. You are completely blind to this because she wants you to be. While you are sitting around trying to be the understanding partner, she is actively rationalizing her betrayal in her own mind. She is telling herself that you don't pay enough attention to her, that you don't listen, or that the spark is magically gone. She justifies her actions to herself long before she ever takes action with someone else, planning her moves with calculated precision, while you are left completely in the dark. Most men are completely oblivious to the subtle, freezing shifts in temperature that happen right under their roofs. They ignore the tiny warning signs, like the sudden changes in her texting habits, the way she protects her phone screen, or how her schedule suddenly becomes completely packed with mysterious obligations. She is suddenly too busy to jump on a quick call with you, yet she miraculously has all the time in the world to start going out more, dressing up more, and living a life that no longer includes you. Today, the manipulation ends, and you are finally going to wake up to reality. You are going to learn the exact calculated phrases women use when they are testing the waters, emotionally checking out, or already deep into a full on betrayal. These aren't just casual comments. They are linguistic red flags that signal she is actively detached from you and transitioning her loyalty to someone else. Once your eyes are open to this psychological blueprint, the illusion will shatter completely. You will see through the gaslighting, you will recognize the patterns immediately, and you will never be able to unsee it again. It is time to stop playing the fool and start reading the writing on the wall before it is too late. Phrase 1. He understands me so well. Let's get one thing straight right now. In a committed relationship, there is absolutely no such thing as just a friend when a woman repeatedly brings another man's name into your conversations. Wake up and pay attention to how female psychology actually operates. Women do not casually admire men from a distance the way men do. When a woman starts talking about another guy constantly, she is actively investing her mental and emotional energy into him. When she starts praising his humor, highlighting his kindness, or talking about how deep and insightful his conversations are, she isn't just making casual conversation. She is dropping a direct hint, and she is actively planting a seed in her own mind and yours that this other man might just be better than you. She is putting you on a scale, comparing your flaws to his best traits, romanticizing a fantasy life with him, and worst of all, she is testing your reaction to see exactly how much disrespect you are willing to swallow. If you just stand there like a clueless fool, nodding your head and playing the supportive, understanding boyfriend while she emotionally flirts with another man through her words, you have already lost the game. You are teaching her exactly how to walk all over you. A high value man does not tolerate being a second place spectator in his own relationship. He understands his worth, and the very second he notices her emotional attention shifting, he shuts it down by setting an immediate, unbreakable boundary. You don't yell, you don't argue, and you don't beg for her attention. Instead, you look her dead in the eye with absolute calm and confidence, and you tell her straight up, if you are so deeply interested in him and he understands you so well, then go be with him. But you will not be with me while you do it. You must be entirely willing to walk away from her games the exact moment they start. Write this down and never forget it. The absolute second you stop being her number one priority, she needs to stop being yours. Period. Phrase two, don't worry, I'm just going out with friends. Every single woman who has ever checked out of a relationship or cheated on her partner has used this exact phrase as her ultimate cover up. And here's the trick that messes with most men's heads. She isn't technically lying to you. She really is going out with her friends. But what she is completely hiding from you is the hidden agenda and who else is magically showing up in that group later in the night. You need to look at the massive contrast between a woman who loves you and a woman who is drifting away. A truly loyal woman goes out of her way to make you feel secure. She wants you included, she tells you the plans naturally, and she offers reassurance before you even think to ask, because your peace of mind matters to her. But a woman who is emotionally detached becomes completely vague, secretive, and defensive the second you ask a basic question about her night. Let's look at the reality of the situation without any of the fluff. Women do not spend 2 straight hours in front of a mirror doing their hair, perfecting their makeup, and picking out their tightest outfits just to go sit in a dark corner with a couple of girlfriends. They don't do all of that for a casual night out with the girls. They do it because they crave external validation and they feed on male attention. If she is staying out until 3 a.m., intentionally dodging your phone calls, and soaking up drinks and compliments from random guys while dressing like she's completely single, she does not respect you and she does not value the relationship. Do not lower your value by begging her to stay home or throwing an insecure tantrum. Stand tall, reclaim your power, and make it clear that your parameters for a loyal partner are non negotiable. Look at her and say, a woman who truly values me and respects this relationship does not put herself in situations where she behaves like she's single. Do whatever you want tonight, but you won't do it as my woman. Turn around, walk away, and let her see exactly what it feels like to lose a man of real value. Phrase 3, I need more space for myself. When a woman looks you in the eye and tells you she needs more space for herself, you need to understand that the relationship is already on life support. This is a massive wake-up call that most men completely misinterpret because they don't understand female psychology. When a man says he needs space, he usually means he is stressed, overwhelmed, and needs a few days to pull away, think things through, and clear his head before returning to the relationship. But when a woman says she needs space, it means something entirely different. She is using that time to emotionally detach from you. She is intentionally building a psychological buffer zone between the life she shares with you and the independent life she is already preparing to step into. This is nothing more than the soft launch of her final exit strategy. The cold, hard truth is that a woman who is genuinely in love and emotionally connected to our man wants to be close to him, seek his protection, and feel his presence. She does not push him away or ask for a vacation from him. The moment she starts demanding this distance, you have to ask yourself a very serious question. Who is actually filling that space? The reality of modern dating is that women are rarely completely alone. There is almost always another guy waiting in her orbit, whether it's a coworker, an ex, or a friend on social media, just waiting for his chance to step in. By asking for space, she is keeping you on standby on the sidelines, like a safe backup plan, while she tests the waters of single life or explores her options with someone new. The absolute worst mistake you can make right here is to play the waiting game, sitting around by the phone, hoping she realizes what she's missing, and giving her time to figure herself out. Every single day you sit around waiting for her is another day you make her decision to leave you 10 times easier. You are showing her that you have zero self-respect and that you will tolerate being put on a shelf. The very second she utters the words that she needs space, do not argue, do not beg, and do not text her to check up on her. Give her exactly what she asked for. Cut all ties, remove your attention completely, and walk away immediately, like a man who knows his absolute worth. Phrase 4, I'm working late tonight. The absolute most dangerous and successful lies in this world are the ones that are mixed with a little bit of truth. And this phrase is the perfect example. When she tells you she has to work late, she might actually be sitting at her desk or staying behind at the office for a few extra hours. So technically, she isn't lying. But what she is completely leaving out is the context of what is actually happening during those late hours and exactly who she is sharing that time with. You need to start paying attention to the sudden, drastic breaks in her daily routine. If she has worked a standard 9 to 5 job for months or years, and suddenly she is required to stay late multiple times a week, something is fundamentally wrong. Pay attention to how she prepares for these late nights. Is she suddenly putting on her best outfits for the office, wearing nicer perfume, and taking extra time on her appearance just to sit alone in a cubicle? She isn't doing all of that for a computer screen. She is dressing up for someone else. While you are at home convincing yourself that she's just being a hard worker, she is actively reassigning her emotional investment to a coworker or a manager who is paying her the attention she used to seek from you. You will notice the tiny shifts. She comes home claiming she is just tired from work, yet she is glued to her phone screen, turning it face down whenever you walk into the room, or stepping away to take quiet phone calls. If your gut is telling you that something is off, do not ignore it to avoid conflict. A woman who has absolutely nothing to hide will never fear total transparency. She will happily leave her phone on the counter or tell you exactly how her day went. But a guilty woman will immediately try to turn the tables, gaslight you, and make you feel like you are being crazy, controlling, or deeply insecure just for noticing the obvious changes. Do not swallow that manipulation. Reclaim your power right then and there by confronting the situation head on and setting a strict boundary. If she cannot maintain her loyalty and respect for you when you are not actively watching her, then she has absolutely no right to enjoy your presence, your protection, and your love when you are. Phrase 5. I think we need some time apart. Let's strip away all the excuses and look at the brutal reality. No woman on the face of this planet has ever uttered the phrase, I think we need some time apart, with the genuine intention of ever coming back to you. When she drops this bombshell, she isn't looking for a temporary pause to hit the reset button on your relationship. She is telling you that, in her mind, she is already gone. Men often make the fatal mistake of believing that a woman just wakes up one random morning and suddenly falls out of love overnight. That is a massive delusion. The truth is that she has been quietly, calculatedly detaching herself from you emotionally for weeks, months, or even a year before she finally found the nerve to say it out loud. And do you want to know the real reason why she fell out of love? It's because she completely stopped respecting you as a man. Somewhere along the line, you became passive. You started seeking her validation instead of commanding her respect, and you let her take the lead, which completely killed her attraction for you. When a woman tells you she needs time apart to figure out what she wants, you need to wake up to the psychological game being played. Women do not take breaks from relationships they still value just to clear their minds in isolation. They take breaks to explicitly clear the runway for someone brand new who is already waiting in the wings. If you sit around like a lovesick fool, holding on to hope, checking her social media, and praying that she will magically miss you and come running back, you are only confirming the exact low opinion she already has of you. You are showing her that you have zero options, zero backbone, and zero self worth. Even if she does eventually wander back to you after a few weeks or months, do not flatter yourself by thinking it's because she realized you were the one. It is only because the other guy she was testing out turned out to be a disappointment. And she knows you are weak enough to serve as her emotional safety net. Never accept being a backup plan or a second choice option. The very second she asks for time apart, do not argue, do not ask for explanations, and do not beg. Your response must be immediate, cold silence and a total, permanent departure from her life. Phrase 6. You deserve someone better than me. This phrase is arguably the most manipulative, guilt-ridden, and toxic sentence a man can ever hear in a relationship. When a woman looks at you with sad eyes and tells you that you deserve someone better than her, you need to understand that this is never a genuine compliment about your high value. What she's actually saying to you through a coded confession is, I have already done something completely terrible behind your back. And I know for a fact that if you found out the truth, you would never look at me the same way again. Whether she has been heavily flirting with a coworker, sending explicit messages to an ex, or already physically sleeping with another man, she knows she has violated your trust. Because she entirely lacks the courage, integrity, and maturity to look you in the eye and confess to her betrayal, she relies on this psychological reverse psychology script to soften the blow and shield herself from accountability. By telling you that you are too good for her, she is brilliantly framing herself as the tragic, broken victim who just isn't strong enough for your love, completely shifting the narrative away from her own shady behavior. Weak, clueless men always fall face first into this trap by immediately trying to comfort and reassure her, saying things like, "No, baby, don't say that. You're perfect for me." When you do that, you are literally validating a woman who is actively trying to discard you. Strong men, on the other hand, recognize this line for exactly what it is: a massive execute. She is dropping this phrase because she wants you to do the heavy lifting for her. She wants you to be the one to break up with her so that she can walk away scot free without ever feeling like the bad guy in the story. Do not waste a single second trying to fix something that is already broken and corrupted. Your response to this phrase should be entirely effortless, completely calm, and incredibly sharp. You simply look at her, shrug your shoulders, and say, "You're right." Then you turn around, pack your bags, and walk away permanently. No second chances, no emotional breakdowns, no drawn out conversations, and absolutely zero drama. You walk out the door and leave her to sit in the mess of her own making. The ultimatum. The absolute coldest truth about modern relationships is that most men only ever see the warning signs when their entire world has already crashed and burned around them. They spend months living in a state of complete denial, actively blinding themselves to reality because they are too terrified to face the truth. When she starts taking hours to reply to a simple text, they make excuses for her, telling themselves she is just incredibly busy at work or stressed out with family. When she pulls away and treats them with cold, emotional distance, they brush it off as a temporary phase, foolishly praying and hoping that things will just magically fix themselves and go back to how they used to be. But you need to understand right now that things never just magically fix themselves. Silence, distance, and a lack of effort are not accidents. They are conscious choices. If a woman truly respects you, values you, and sees you as her king, she does not create distance. She stays by your side, and she actively fights through the hardships to protect the bond you share. She doesn't risk losing you, and she certainly doesn't open the door for anyone else. The minute she starts entertaining other options, texting other men, or letting outside validation creep into her mind, the relationship as you knew it is officially dead. You do not negotiate your worth. You do not beg for basic loyalty. And you absolutely do not compete with random guys for her attention. You reclaim your power by being the one who walks away first, completely cutting off her access to your energy, your protection, and your love. In this life, you either have her full, undivided attention or you have absolutely nothing at all, because a high value man never accepts being a second place option. If this video finally broke the spell, shattered the illusions, and woke you up to the reality of the game being played around you, then right now is the exact moment to stand up, dust yourself off, and boldly claim your true worth as a man. Do not let this message stop with you. Help us open the eyes of countless other brothers out there who are currently trapped in the exact same cycle of manipulation and blindness by supporting the channel and hitting that subscribe button right now. If you are entirely done playing by their twisted rules, if you are sick and tired of being the nice guy who gets played, used, and discarded the second she finds a shiny new distraction, then it is time to change the way you move. Head over to our store and check out our official channel merch today. This isn't just clothing, it is a physical statement of your boundaries, an armor that commands respect, and a daily, unyielding reminder to yourself and the entire world that you are a man of undeniable value who will never, ever be blind to the signs again. Do not hesitate, do not look back, and do not let another day slip away where you are treated like an option. Hit that subscribe button immediately. Grab your official gear, take absolute control of your destiny, and start commanding the respect you rightfully deserve.